Hey everybody, welcome back. Probably gonna be a short little video here. Uh, Kind of a rant, but not like screaming, yelling all over the place. I don't think it's kind of late and I'm tired, but just something that has been like eating in my mind for a little while. Um, is the fact that Amazon Prime as a service um, is something that I greatly enjoy, but also like as an anime fan and more as an anime collector, uh, it makes me like pretty like wary and pretty like fearful of the future because for those that don't know, like there is a bunch of like anime that you can uh, stream on Amazon Prime's service if you are a Prime member. You know, it's included with your like 2 day shipping and everything that you get with that, and they have like their own sort of like streaming service. I'm pretty sure everybody knows about. And they have like a little chunk of anime in there. They used to have this thing called Amazon Strike, I think is what it was called, where it was like I think it was like a fee like in addition to your Prime, but yeah, that kind of died off. My big gripe with it is that it just happened to be that I sort of fell into this trap. So I noticed it. I think a lot of people might not really notice this or even really care, but there were several anime that were streaming on Amazon. Some of which were Amazon had like the streaming rights to them for like the first time. Like they have several shows that like have streamed in other places, and you can watch them on Amazon. Like, but they've been on Hulu, they've been on Netflix or something. But they've also gotten into the game of acquiring streaming rights with certain shows. So when every season comes around, you can look at the anime seasonal chart and you can see that okay, X show is going to be every Wednesday on Crunchyroll. Y show is going to be, um, this is a Funimation thing, right? Uh, or, oh man, we gotta wait for this series on Netflix, which is a whole sort of other problem because they kind of just vomit the entire series all at once and make everybody kind of like wait for it or use other services like RIP Kiss Anime because they're just gonna watch it there. How dare they think anime fans are going to wait? Uh, but uh, Prime doesn't really like have that issue. Like they do release it like on time, from what I can tell. Every series that I've watched on there, they have the episode every week or whatever. It might not be like as fast as Crunchyroll. I'm not 100% about that, but in particular, I have watched series that I have watched that were on Prime. So Happy Sugar Life, off the top of my head, Happy Sugar Life, Dororo, um, and Inuyashiki, I believe, and the big one for me is Vinland Saga. Now, Vinland Saga, if you're sort of newer to the channel, is probably my favorite manga of all time, and I really enjoyed the anime a whole lot. Um, and it's an incredible story that I think that every anime fan should at least try, or a manga fan. And it's this epic tale that like I want as many people to like consume as much as possible. But the fact that it is an Amazon show, um, I know people are going to like watch series on pirate sites and stuff like that. Uh, and I don't really have a problem with like Amazon trying to get into the streaming game for anime. Um, but my issue comes within like the fact that they don't ever. Oh, Land of the Lustrous as well was another show that is sort of going to be the counter argument for my point here. Is that none of their shows really ever make it to Blu-ray releases or DVD releases here in the United States. And I've also noticed this might also be like a Netflix issue, but I haven't watched enough anime like that Netflix chose to that like Netflix original anime to notice that this is a problem. Besides with like Devilman Crybaby, like we don't have a Devilman Crybaby Blu-ray or DVD release here. Japan has this really cool looking like box set, but of course to watch that you would need a region-free DVD player or Blu-ray player, which is a whole another chunk of money that you would have to spend. Uh, and Amazon has this big problem where, as far as I can tell, Land of the Lustrous I think is the only one that has a license for release of somebody else. I'm not sure if it was Sentai or somebody picked that up. I have the Steelbook somewhere on my shelf. But that show got a Blu-ray release here in North America. But that's like it. And I did a rewatch of Vinland Saga very recently with my dad, and wanted to show him what a cool show it was. And I had no other option but to watch it. I streamed it on Amazon Prime, right on our TV, which in the long run is an acceptable way to consume anime. But I'm a collector. I like physical media. I know I'm sort of like a dying breed in that regard, but I think myself and a lot of people out there, like, the idea that you have to just stream this on a service, it kind of sucks. Like, it's like it makes me sad that like I can't ever. I would pay top dollar for a Vinland Saga like cool box set in like English. Um, that would be so cool. That would be something I would love to display on my shelf. Even if it was like a crazy Aniplex release, right? We always talk about how Aniplex is like crazy expensive, but their stuff is high tier quality. Um, and at least they're putting something out. Like Amazon, obviously makes a ton of money. Um, I don't know what other incentive they would really have for really pushing out Blu-ray and DVD things. It would have to be another company like stepping in, like Sentai or somebody else to license it. My guess is that Amazon puts like a high price tag on it, so I don't think it's very likely that it'll happen. I was thinking about this and how upset I was with the Vinland Saga thing, and started to go through like my catalog of Amazon shows that I've watched. Go back like right before this was Dororo, another really really cool show. I think from 2019. Still no DVD or Blu-ray release. Go back a little further. I also think I might correct me. I might throw in one that's not an Amazon exclusive one in here. I believe Kokoku. I think that one also does not have Blu-ray DVD release. Happy Sugar Life does not either. Also an Amazon Prime show. I already mentioned Land of the Lustrous. Inuyashiki. A pretty beloved manga. Like similar to Vinland Saga. Like Inuyashiki is by the same guy that did Gantz, right? So, interesting series. I don't know if it's one that I really want to throw up on my shelf, but I know it means a lot to a lot of people. Those people, there is an audience that would probably want that on their shelf. And it's just kind of upsetting to me. And I think it's just like a problem that I wonder if this is like the way we're going to. Is this the path that we're going down with streaming service, like streaming services acquiring the rights and everything? Like, are they just are how powerless are the Blu-ray and DVD like licensure companies getting? Like, I mentioned like these examples on Amazon Prime. There's also the example of Devilman Crybaby on Netflix. Does not have, I believe, another 2019 show, like early 2019. Doesn't have the Blu-ray or DVD release here. Will it ever? That's a big question. Like how long is it really going to take? Like Inuyashiki, I think was like a couple years. Happy Sugar Life, I think was like 2018. But Yeah, and what's to stop like other services from necessarily doing this? Because I don't know. It's one thing to say that like probably a majority of people, certainly a majority of people, just stream their anime, right? So I guess you're fitting the majority, but you're really hurting the minority here, which are the people that put a lot more money into this industry. So I think like if you're a streaming service, it's kind of hurting you in the long run if you don't at least explore the option for Blu-ray and DVD releases. And I'm not here. I don't work for Amazon. I can't say that they've never really thought about putting out a Dororo Blu-ray or Vinland Saga Blu-ray or something like that. That shit would make money. Like I'm sure someone there might have thought about that or something like that, but for whatever reason, it just hasn't happened. And I'm scared that that's going to, if not like maybe not become like the total norm, but just become more and more common. I would like to see more like Land of the Lustrous, where it's a really cool series that you can stream on Amazon Prime if you want to. I actually don't really have like problems like with their service itself. It actually works in my opinion a lot, in my experience, a lot better than like Crunchyroll's like apps and everything. But that's uh yeah, I think you should be able to watch the show on the streaming service, and then like 6 months later, a year later, something like that, you should be able to like also go to like Amazon Prime and buy the DVDs, Blu-rays, if that's where you want to go, or um, I don't know. That's the ideal world that I want to see, that I want to experience. That seemed like it's like how it was. Like even like the crappiest, shittiest shows seem to get like Blu-ray and DVD releases, and money poured into that. Handshakers, I'm pretty sure got a Blu-ray release. So we live in a world where Handshakers has a Blu-ray. I'm pretty sure, and Vinland Saga does not, and that is pretty upsetting. But yeah, let me know down below what you guys think about this. Are there series that you are longing for a Blu-ray DVD release? Maybe even like a re-release. That's kind of a whole nother like argument, like with licensing and stuff. Maybe I could make a video about that. Talk about like Naoki Urasawa's Monster, which is a whole phantom of problems within the collector's market of anime and manga and everything. So, yeah, what do you guys think about Amazon Prime streaming for anime if you have used it in the past, comparatively to maybe other streaming services that you use? Yeah, is there any Blu-ray or DVDs that you really long for? And are you like me, where it's like the collector in you is just so saddened by the fact that like you just can't, you want this thing but like you just can't have it, and it's not because it costs too much or something like that, it's just not available. Like to me that's more of like a gut punch. Like if I couldn't afford something, then it's, I can't afford it. If it's just flat out non-available and I'm willing to fork up the money for it, I think that's kind of bullshit. I don't know how else to sort of describe it, but let me know if you guys like kind of rambly discussions like this. I'm sorry if I went on too long. Thank you to everybody that supports me on Patreon. You guys are really, really awesome. I'll have a link to that down below if you want to maybe help me on there. Or you can just hit that subscribe button. It's also really good. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Miasma, and I'll see you next time.